everybody. Welcome to Savvy the Business Podcast. We are on today with Miss Precious Williams, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen her, heard of her. She's all over social media. She's pitching. She's inviting you to get with her so you can get your pitch together. It's all about getting your brand together. And this year, I know we had a bad year last year in 2020 with COVID, but I'm calling it post-COVID. I know it's still here, but post-COVID, this is the year to get your brand together, your pitches, your marketing, your foundation, all of these things. It's time to get it together. You've heard me talk about it here at the marketing studio, so be sure you get those things together. I'm going to read a little bit of Precious' bio just so you can know a little bit about her for those of you that's been sleeping. So let me give you a little bit to wake you up. Have you ever met the full-figure diva who has taken the business world by storm and won big? Well, now you have. Precious L. Williams, also affectionately known as the Killer Pitch Master, can help you slay all competition. Wait, let me back up. Hashtag slay all competition with her killer elevator pitches, media pitches, and investor pitches. Precious is a world-class master communicator who works with successful entrepreneurs and speakers and helps them take their professional pitching and speaking skills to the next level. With over 25 years of experience in creating unique speaking and public speaking techniques, Williams is also known for innovative training programs and services to her clients and sales teams at Fortune 100 companies. These companies include Google, Microsoft, LinkedIn, eBay, etc. Just in case you don't know who they are, look them up. As a 13-time National Business Elevator Pitch champion, Williams has been on top television shows and publications for her pitching, branding, and professional speaking skills. She was featured on season 8 of ABC Shark Tank, Forbes Magazine, CNN, ABC, MSNBC, Wall Street Journal, Movie Week, as well as several others around the world. Whew. Okay. In 2019, Precious became a best-selling author of the #1 business book, Bad Bitches with Power Pitches, for women entrepreneurs and speakers only, and has been featured on One Time, Square Billboards, top podcasts, and stages around the world. Okay. That's not even her full bio, y'all. I just gave y'all a little taste. I don't know. I gave y'all appetizer, not a taste. I gave y'all appetizer. So, Precious, thank you so much for coming on today.
So I'm so excited to be here. Let's get it.
Let's go. So, first, let's hit, pitches. Everyone, when you're in business, we always hear, okay, what's your elevator pitch? How are you going to do this? What should be included? What should not be included? For those that still don't know and have a fear of asking and getting clarification, explain what an elevator pitch is and why.
So an elevator pitch, it's like a short, brief way of introducing you, your credentials, your skill sets, your talents, and your abilities to what you're hoping is an interested audience. So let's take it to another level. You ever gone over to your grandmother's house or maybe to a buffet? Food is looking good, from the meats to the vegetables to the fruit to the desserts. You're putting things on your plate. You're like, yeah, I'm about to do that. That first bite sets the tone. It's called that juicy morsel. The juicy morsel is your pitch, and it's enticing them to want to learn more. Right? So, when you had that first bite of your grandmother's, I don't know, her banana pudding, or your first bite of her roast, you're like, oh yeah, it's about to get real good. So when I say it's a short, brief introduction, that's all it is. It's not putting everything in it. You want them to come with you, be enticed, want to learn more. You want to get to that next meeting, the next phone call. You want them to be nominating you for things. You want to get to that next job interview, so you're closer to getting the job of your dreams. Let's say you're a speaker and you're tired of being asked to speak for free. And so now you want to be booked, busy, and paid. How do you put yourself out there so that they know to come to you and be asking, what's your rates? You created a name for yourself. You are showing them the best of what you have to offer. And usually the best, there's so much more behind that, right? So you just heard my bio. That's just a little bit of what I've done. That's just a tiny bit of what I've done.
Yeah.
And so why is it important? Everyone needs a pitch. Everyone. I don't care if you have a job. I don't care if you're the janitor. I don't care if you're trying to get investments. I don't care if you're trying to get in media or whatever. Everybody needs a pitch. Why? Because you don't know who you're going to encounter. It could be at a Whole Foods. Like I was at a Whole Foods once, just running my mouth with the cashier, and somehow I talked about being from St. Louis, and this woman who I did not know, she's like, "You from Missouri?" I said, "Yeah, I'm from Missouri." She's from Kansas City. We fat mouth. And she said, "Yeah, I thought I heard you say something about a book." I said, "Yeah, the name of my book is Bad Bitches and Power Pitches for Women Entrepreneurs and Speakers Only." She said, "I'm the CEO of such and such company." I was like, "Word?" And she was like, "So how can I get that book?" I'm running my mouth with the cashier on BS. And this woman heard me. So people like to think of it just like if you get an elevator, what are you going to say? You never know who you're going to be around that's going to be enticed by somebody. Someone you sit next to in a plane. So you go to a networking event. What are you going to say that's going to have them like, ooh, let me go backfill the emotion and come back to you. I want to learn more. And so that's why everybody needs an elevator pitch. There could be a job out there you know nothing about, but there's something about the way you speak that's like, I think let me get at her. Let me get at her. And so that's why everyone needs it. Whether you have a job, a position, you're an entrepreneur, you're a speaker, you're starting a company, everyone needs a pitch. And in fact, it's something you do every day anyway. When the last time you talked to your girl about that no good dude in your life, or that no good woman, or that job you don't like, or that great opportunity that came your way? You're about to launch something. That's a pitch.
Right.
You're just being more strategic about it and making sure that wherever you are, you can do it conversationally. You can put it in a message on LinkedIn or Facebook. You want to have something that entices people. And so that is why when I say pitching ain't easy, but it sure is fun. Pitching, once you get a handle on it, you'll know how to change up the game no matter where you are.
Do you have a plan to pivot your business? Come to the marketing studio. Not only will we help you create a plan to pivot your business, but we'll also help you to enhance your brand. The Marketing Studio. Go to our website, www.smginc.biz, or you can send us an email to media@smginc.biz. See you soon. Wow, I'm glad that you put all of that in there, and like I said, it's changing up the game. And speaking of that, so many companies, they should, if they have not already, should pivot because of what happened in 2020.
Girl,
the world is going to be completely different.
Yes.
I've heard some people say, quit saying the new normal, quit saying we don't have a new normal. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. It's going to change. Networking will never, ever be the same again. There will be networking events, but it's going to change. It's a drastic change with that. And along with that, you should pivot your business of what you're doing.
So true, Queen.
I mean, you have to, because what has happened has, damaged so many businesses, small businesses, large corporations, because this was absolutely nothing nobody could have prepared for. So speaking of pitches, let's tie it together with, that pivot. What should people do if they have not already to rebrand and pitch their business in a different light? You're still doing the same thing, but you're pitching in a little different light because you had to shift some things around.
So true, Queen. So the truth of the matter is, I had booked, busy, and paid speaking engagements all last year.
Yeah.
When I came back from speaking at International Women's Day in Halifax, Nova Scotia, you heard me right. Your girl's an international woman of mystery.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So I came back, and I remember one by one, I was looking at the emails come through. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do this. Da, da, da. And I was like, and everybody's around you, coaches, consultants. Ain't nobody going to make any money. And I was just like this.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all got me bumped. So if I got to go onto this Zoom thing, I'm going to be more visible than you've ever seen me before. I said, too many people, something rocks the boat and they don't know what to do. And I feel like as a Black woman, listen, I came from poverty. If I have to go back, all right, I'm going to make it work. But for me, I wanted to show people this is how you become even more visible. What type of content are you putting out there? Is it something really to attract others to really seeing you as the expert? Are you putting out things that are calls to action for people? So people think, I just create a course and tell people to buy it. Ain't nobody got time for that. Have you even created a lane for yourself that makes you the expert? Most people haven't. They're just like, I went to this person's thing. I went and they told me how to put this together and everybody can make a lot of money. Yeah, okay. Riddle me that. How many of y'all have actually done it?
Yeah.
So if you're putting things together, you need to be increasing your audience. You need to be networking on a different level. So for me, I don't go to every networking event. It's irrelevant to me. I have
Mm-hmm.
to go to targeted events and not just the
Has
ones
to
with
make
my,
sense.
huh?
Yep. It has to
Because
make sense.
I don't listen, Zoom fatigue is real. And so I go to events that are a part of the networks I'm really in, like Ladies Who Leverage, like the Dame, stuff like that. Like I probably have 4 or 5 groups that I exclusively am just in because I can't go to everything. And just like every entrepreneur, at a certain point, you're like, people keep telling you to network, network, network. How do you do it? So for me, I had to get really, really clear and say, these are the only events that I'm going to unless I'm paid to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because the more people in your network know you and they can do your pitch for you to somebody else, that's golden and you're spreading yourself over all these things and no one cares. No one cares, right? Very rarely are you gonna meet another pitch master. You're not going to meet another killer pitch master. That's all I specialize in communication skills and visibility. Also, if you're going to get more visible, prepare for people to be like, man, I see you all the time. And you're going to keep seeing me. I'm not shrinking back from nothing. So, people always talk about having a lead magnet or something like that. Make it meaty and juicy for them. Show them the best of what you have to offer. If your clients are getting results, put them on blast. Put them on blast. If you're getting these wonderful opportunities, people tell you, don't brag. The hell you don't. You better go in. I'm on my Kanye every day. When I get something,
Yeah.
70% of the stuff I'm gonna put out. The other stuff I can't put out until everything is right. Like all the videos have been shot and stuff
Of
like that. Like
course.
when I did
Right.
MasterCard, I
Right.
couldn't put that out immediately. I couldn't put out that I was going to be in the MasterCard priceless ad campaign. People, because I knew people would be like, I'm like, you can doubt me all you want. I've done the things that you say you want to do, right? So what's happening in your network? If your network is stagnant, get out of it. I don't care how many people you like in that. If you all remain at the same place you were last year, y'all not growing. You need to be stepping it up. You need to have some millionaires in your network. You do. You just do. You need people at your level and people who are higher so you can aspire. But if everybody's at the same level they were last year, get out and make sure that you value your time. Or is your time spent on business development? Is it spent on making sure you're creating great content? Is it on reaching out to people with a unique pitch that they're not ready for? Because when you go on LinkedIn, people can send you things and you're like, boring, delete, 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 ignore, da da da. And there's usually someone who will step out and just be like, tell you something totally different. And you're like, I like that. Why? Because they did something different. They weren't like, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. They wanted you to see a little bit more into them. Why do you think I wrote my bio the way I did? Have you ever met a full-figure diva? Like, instead of Precious Williams is a world-class master. No, I don't want to hear that. You
Yeah.
said full-figure diva. What that look like? I want to know what that chick about. Okay. And then, I want to always take it back to visibility. You don't have to be on every platform. In fact, everybody I know is on Clubhouse and telling me you need to be there, you need to be there. I'll get there when I get there. My people are on LinkedIn. My
Yeah.
people are on Facebook. That's where they are. All the clubhouses in the world. Like, oh, I built my program and did this. I'm like, everybody's not doing that. And I need to see that it's successful before I go because I don't have the bandwidth. If I'm filming, if I'm getting ready to film a talk show, if I'm doing MasterCard commercials, if I'm working with corporations, have my corporate clients and my individual clients, I can't be everywhere and I accept that. Where are your people at? That's where you need to be.
Right.
So I want to encourage you all, don't just be busy. Be busy and productive with your busyness.
Mm.
Right, Queen?
I just had a conversation with somebody on Thursday or Friday. You're too busy being busy. And I had to explain to her some of the things she shared with me. I was like, don't just do stuff just to say I'm doing stuff.
Right.
Do it have a purpose? What's the reason? So many think, okay, well, I'm busy, so I'm being productive. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But you're just doing stuff. You're not getting any results from it. There's no return out of it. It's
you don't have to drop that T. Don't drop that T on them because
you
people
just
in the back ain't heard
it, and it don't make sense. Like, come on. I was like, no. Okay, so figure out what it is. And what I tell some people, even when I tell my clients that come for the marketing studio, I was like, sometimes we need to break away, do things where you don't think about work. And one of the things, and I even tell them what I do. I say, I have a remote control car. I go outside and play with my remote control car for maybe an hour or so, because I'm not thinking about work. I'm thinking about driving the car. Okay, let me, I'm in the curve. Okay, wait, I don't want to hit this. I don't want to hit that. I'm thinking about other things. So that's one of my things that I do. And I say, find something where you don't think about that. It's not about always being, I got to do something pertaining to the business or doing this. You need to clear your mind and got to refresh. You just gotta refresh it, along with doing brain dumps. I said once a quarter, everybody should do a full-blown brain dump.
Yes.
And I say I have some really large sticky notes. I use things like this, and I just write and I stick them on the wall. You don't have to worry about buying a whiteboard and doing all this stuff. You have a wall. Everybody, whether you're in a house, apartment, loft, whatever, you got a wall. Use that wall and just stick these sticky notes all over the place and do a full-blown brain dump, an honest brain dump. So good or bad, put it down. Put it down. So I know
you're talking to a real marketing woman. This is how you know you're really talking to someone because a lot of people will, talk you with all of that stuff, and it's like what you said to me reminds me of something that I do daily. Right? I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah.
So I love to work by candlelight. I know it sounds strange, but I've been trying to take back to 1700, like work by candlelight, and then like I'll watch some silly YouTube stuff, like silly, not even cats and dogs, whatever. But I watch some silliness, like makeup tutorials. Mm-hmm. What they did a makeup haul. I don't know why that fascinates me. Or when they're doing decluttering, I'm like, oh, because it just spurs me to be like, okay, let me cut this down. I don't always have to be on email and responding. Sometimes I'm just like, dude, I'm gonna get that 2 days because it's not important right now. So let me just do that. And that's why I really appreciate what you're doing, Queen, because true entrepreneurship, even at the highest levels, you do need breaks. You do need to be goal setting. You do need to, y'all know, temperamental. She want to act up today. Temperamental and everything. But at the same time, what I want people to know is that work is still going to be there. I think Shonda Rhimes talked about that, right? Mm-hmm. Work is still going to be there. So take time to enjoy certain things. Is that okay, Queen?
Right there. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay, sorry about that. Told you she being a little precious today. She said. So, and also who's in your support network? So many of us get hate on a daily, I promise you. And it's not hate like you think, and people say, I hate you. No. It could be, you doing that? Shouldn't you be doing something else?
Yeah.
You're always working. Why are you always doing this? And I'm like, you're busy watching me. I don't even know what you do.
Yeah.
And the reason why we work as hard as we do, in the pandemic and economic downturn and social unrest, people were paralyzed and didn't know what to do. A lot of people lost their jobs that they thought were stable. A lot of people, it was such an upheaval. But those of us who've gone through hard times, it was almost like, oh, we're about to separate the men from the boys and the girls from the women now. Now you're about to see who's really on code, who can really outshine in any situation. And, being visible and showing others to keep going regardless. I don't have a man. I don't have kids. So I live in New York City. My rent is $2,200. You can tell me about a moratorium all you want. I don't feel comfortable coming into this house with that rent not being paid. I just don't. Right. And, because I've been through homelessness. I've been through severe alcohol addiction. I've been through all of that. And so my life is good now. Because I have a great support network, because I have the people who love me. And then when people are going hard at me, I'm calling people, I got God, I got the Bible, I got my devotionals, but he also put people in my life to encourage me. When I say, hey, I want to have the #1 speech communication solutions company in the world, they're not like, yeah, that's a good, they like, damn right. When we get this popping, I'm like, no, I'm Black history now. It's happening now. Mm-hmm. It's women's history now. It's happening now.
This is the year of the woman. This is the woman needs to. Yes, this is the year of the woman. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. It's time. It's time, and it's with people, waiting on so many things and scared to move forward because we all was in an I don't know state. Everybody was in an I don't know state. And because of that, if, like you said, separate the boys from the men and the women from the girls, it was time to say, all right, let's shake this off. Let's do what we got to do. When it first happened, what did everybody do? Everybody flew to social media. Everybody started doing all these videos,
coaching programs, courses. You remember that?
Yes. I mean, everybody was, this is my business doing, because everybody just flocked straight to social media and did all these live videos and everything. And I even had a couple people ask me, hey, Melissa, why aren't you doing it? You the paperless girl, you gadget girl, you this, No, y'all good. Y'all go ahead. I don't need to be on there. While y'all doing all them videos, I'm rethinking some things right now.
What?
I'm rethinking some things. And I mean, it happened for a while. And as we saw it start to die out, and then now, it's kind of bad. It didn't do what, a lot of people thought. Everybody flocked to that. And I was like, no, I'm not.
Like everybody's flocking the clubhouse, right? Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have had 3 calls. Yo, club. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm like, I don't want to start a room. I'm not trying to start a group. I'm not trying to do none of that stuff. I'm not saying there's not no good stuff on there.
Right, I'm not saying that.
I'm okay right now. So it's just, where I am, and like you said, not being on every platform, it's important to know your platform.
What?
And everybody thinks, okay, if it's business, everybody flocks to LinkedIn. But guess what? LinkedIn doesn't work for me. What works for me is Instagram and Twitter.
What?
That's where I get responses back when I'm, whether I'm messaging people trying to make a connection and things. I get more reaction from Instagram and Twitter. You would think I would get a lot from LinkedIn as well, but I don't. I get a little bit, but I don't get a lot from it. I get more from Instagram and Twitter. So those are my 2 platforms. And I'm not going to speak on Facebook. We just going to let that.
We're just not going to.
You just let
We're
that.
just not going
to. Yeah. So, but it's important to know your platforms and do what you have to do. And sometimes you have to play with them, pick them all, play with them a little bit.
That goes back to testing. And even that goes into pitching, right? So one pitch might work for this audience. One pitch might not work for. So what I say to media is not what I'm going to say to investors. I promise you it's not going to be the same, right?
Yeah.
How I approach, what do I say at a networking event is different from what I would put on Shark Tank. I promise you, it's so different, right? And so when you're testing, that's part of this game in entrepreneurship. Not everything works the first time. Sometimes you got to, iterate and stuff like that. That's the truth. You really, really do. I remember something, you ever created something you just knew was going to be popping and other people and you like,
I mean, you're sitting there excited about, oh, this is it. This is the money. This is going to get it. And
you're on another thing that you spend hardly no time on eating it up. And you like, but I. And that's why I say, another part of, pitching. And one thing I know you know this from working with a lot of tech people, they don't have everything. It's not perfect. It's really not. Yeah. But is there interest? If there's interest, how much further can we go before I have to put really something together?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's about working in silence too. Keep your mouth shut.
Having been in a situation where, man, this right here, huh?
Yeah, you got
what you said.
You got to work in silence. You got to. You have to.
Real G's have to move in silence.
Yeah. And until you're ready to say, okay, bam, here it is. This is what I'm doing. Not before then. Don't put out there, oh, well, I'm so excited. I got this opportunity to work on blah, blah, blah. Or, you're telling people. I get sometimes you need to talk to people, but that circle should be like that small that you talk to. So, let's shift over a little bit and let's get into like the business elevator pitches. Mm-hmm. What advice could you give someone that think they have it together and they don't know where to get started to start developing their pitch?
Okay, so first of all, I think it should be clear what are the basics of a pitch in the first place. Just basic elements, right? So who are you? Like, for real, who are you? What's your name? What's the name of your company or your endeavor or your product or your service or your book? Who is it for? Like, who is the target market? Who is this for? What's so special about it? Why should I give you the time of day to even listen to you to figure out if I'm going to purchase it? And finally, what's your powerful call to action? Sounds simple, right? You know where people get stuck at?
Where?
Always believing start with their name and the name of their company. It's not. That's not where you start. If it's about the other person, if it's about enticing the audience, they don't care about your name and the name of your company.
Right.
If you like, for example, bad bitches and power pitches. Do you know how many people gave me flack about the title?
I can imagine.
But we're secretly.
Yeah.
No, you shouldn't do that. Respectability politics. I was like, I ain't that chick. I'm trying to tell you, I'm not that chick. I'm unapologetic. AF. I move to the beat of my own drum. What you're telling me to do is what you would do. I'm the killer pitch master. I'm the 13-time champion. You've never been in my shoes. I create pitch competitions and I've gotten people on shows and around the world. So I'm gonna focus on what I do best. You focus on what you do best. If you want to be a bad bitch with a power pitch, this was written for you. If you want to get out of the box that society has created for you and the box you found yourself in, even if you're hella successful, there's something we all want to do. You can get it through pitching. You can entice people. You can get people excited before you've even created it. What does that do? That puts money in your pocket. That does this, that, and the other. So in creating bad bitches and power pitches, as much as people want to fight me on the title, it was a #1 bestseller. The workbook was a #1 bestseller. People who told me they would never buy, bought it. The government bought it. The Federal Reserve Bank, NBC Universal, all these places people said would never buy it. They bought it and didn't even trip off the title. So don't gatekeep on somebody else's dream if you've never been to where they need to go. Sorry, you just can't do that. And so here's some things I want you to think about when you're creating your pitch. Now that you have the basic together, what story can you put around your company, your business, your book, your brand, your product or service? I started my first company, Curvy Girls Lingerie, because I couldn't find lingerie in my size. I was 327 pounds and a size 28. Mm-hmm. So some people are like, why would you even be looking for lingerie? Oh, I was dating a very famous Hollywood actor. Oh, the stories.
Why would you be looking for lingerie? The same reason you look for lingerie.
But at the time, Queen, 10 or 11 years ago, people were like, don't nobody look at fat women. I was like,
yeah.
If you change your language, you change the game. When I pitched to the producers of MSNBC, I said, we're Curvy Girls Lingerie. We're the ultimate shopping experience for full-figure divas and plus-size fashionistas. Just call me the female MacGyver of business because I what? Deliver. They didn't even know where to go with that. Like, what did she just say? Full-figure diva. Where are these women? I'm standing right in front of you. So you didn't even know it because what I looked like just went out the window. You're just stunned that I had the audacity to say it. Another thing, I want you to be bold and unexpected. When I walk into networking events and people are just like, hi, da, 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 I'm like, they give me time to speak. I'm like, ladies, raise your hands if you want to be a bad bitch with a power pitch. Yeah, I said it. I said what I said. Fellas, raise your hands if you want to be a bad man with a master pitching plan. Then you've come to the right place. My name is Precious Williams, and I'm the proud founder and CEO of Perfect Pitches by Precious. They call me the killer pitch master because I will help you what? Slay all competition. You need investor dollars? Come see me. You need to know what to say at a networking event so people actually call you? Come see me. You want that job of your dreams and you can't figure out what to say in the interview to really get it? Come see me. You tired of speaking for free? You want to be booked, busy, and paid? Come see me. I am a world-class master communicator, a 13-time national elevator pitch champion who's also been on Shark Tank. So you've already seen the rest. Come see the best. My name is Precious Williams, proud founder and CEO of Perfect Pitches by Precious. Thanks. So I got to get your attention. I didn't start with the name of my company. Didn't start with my name. So think of throwing out a quote, a startling statistic, a question. Because you're changing how people are used to hearing pitches. And when you do that, you're interrupting the pattern. Mm-hmm. The pattern is your name and the name of your company. Nobody care about that.
Right.
But if you say, ladies, she said that with aggression. She said that, yeah, I said it because I want your attention. Did she really just say bad bitches? I said what I said. Now you listening. Yeah. Men are just like, yo, I'm on that too. I haven't forgot about you. Mm-hmm. Trust me, I'm ready for all situations. Meet me in the dark alley at 2 a.m. and say, you ready to pitch? I'm ready for you. Are you ready for me?
Let's go.
And then when you think about it, so you want to be a master storyteller. You want to be bold and unexpected. You want to give them a reason. You need to answer the question that's in the air that's never really asked. Why should they choose you? What's so special about you? If I'm a bet, I can't bet on the horse. I'm betting on the jockey. I don't give a care about your pitches. I need to know what you about. Because if you gonna help me do this, I need to know I can roll with you. If you're a 13-time champion, that means you didn't get it out of a textbook. Mm-hmm. You're a former attorney. I'm like, don't you ain't got to worry about my attorney thing. I've been speaking since I was 16 years old. I'm 42. That's 26 years in this game. I don't talk about it. I be about that life. So the people who read about pitches or the investors who just listen to pitches, I've been in your shoes. And I've outdone all of these Harvard, Yale, Stanford, Columbia, cool tech companies, international companies. And I did it with a non-tech company. It was Curvy Girls Lingerie. Mm-hmm. So be ready to show up and show out, but answer that question. Why you? Why should I hire you? Why should I book you? Why should I recommend you? Why should I do that? You need 150 reasons why somebody should. You're like, no, you need 150, because when they start doing those objections, you'll be ready to, it's like playing ping pong. I'm ready. Yeah. What else you got for me?
Yeah.
And finally, your call to action does need to be powerful. So if you're given a speaking engagement, like you're at a speaking engagement, you're speaking, there should be something on your screen, like say you have to do a PowerPoint or whatever. Like I can talk without it, but sometimes I'll have something on the screen that says the big ask. I'll ask, does anybody have connections to women's organizations, summits, big conferences and stuff like that? Would you make the warm introduction? If you like what I did today, would you be willing to go on LinkedIn? See, I'm always asking, because I don't ever want an opportunity for anybody to say, we don't believe you. Go to my LinkedIn and check out those recommendations. I didn't write them. I asked for recommendations. If they say, oh, we need you to write it, I don't want your recommendation. I don't want it. I want you to know that in all walks of life, people have found me to be entertaining, yet a great trainer.
Yeah.
And I am who I say I am. If you're not who you say you are, the longer you talk, the more it's going to be revealed.
Wow. If you didn't get that, I don't know what to tell you. That's all I can say. Because I mean, right. It's just simple. Right now, it's simply listening. Mm-hmm. And if you listen to everything that was said and some, you'll see why you need to do what you need to do, why you need to be sure your pitch is together, why you are who you say you are. And I mean, just, list could go on and on and on. So you have to understand, really understand the core of your business to put together this pitch and do the things that you need to do. So, I mean, we can go a couple more hours with this conversation, but
I mean, and we definitely could, but I just want to say this to Queen, like you're in your zone of genius and I'm in my zone of genius.
Yeah.
I didn't get this the first time out. It took iteration, it took changes, it took pivoting.
Yes.
And now I'm not asking anybody for anything because it's coming to me. And that's why I wrote the book, Bad Bitches and Power Pitches for Women Entrepreneurs and Speakers Only. It's because even if you never work with me, you have a guide, you have a workbook to work on your pitches that match your persona. And then my third book is coming out, Pitching for Profit, the Bad Bitches Playbook to Convert Conversations into Currency. And that teaches you what happens after the pitch. Let's say you're successful with the pitch. What comes next? How do you keep monetizing on your network? How do you get affiliates and referrals? How do you get people to talk about you in spaces that you've never entered? Think about that. That's why pitching is important, but what comes afterward is even more important.
Wow. Let everybody know how they can get in contact with you and where they can purchase the book.
Okay. So you can go to my website. It's www.perfectpitchesbyprecious.com. You can go and you go on my site. You'll actually see on the Work With Me page, you'll see my books already available there. You can also purchase them on Amazon, Walmart, Target, Books A Million, Barnes and Nobles, and all of that. But if you go to my website, I will hand sign and put a little note in there for you and put it in the mail myself. Also, the Bad Bitches and Power Pitches for Women Entrepreneurs and Speakers Only. The workbook for Bad Bitches and Power Pitches for Women Entrepreneurs and Speakers Only is there. My third book, Pitching for Profit, comes out in April 2021. It's available for pre-sales. You can go to Amazon right now and get it in pre-sales. We want to have another #1 bestseller. We will have a billboard in Times Square like we did for the first one. You can go to LinkedIn. I am Precious L. Williams, Killer Pitchmaster on LinkedIn. On Instagram, I'm at Perfect Pitches P. On Twitter, I'm at Perfect Pitch P. On Facebook, I'm at Perfect Pitch P. And on YouTube, my channel is Precious L. Williams. And that's how you can get in contact with me. I really do respond to messages. I love reaching back to people. And I'm so honored to be a part of this wonderful podcast today.
Wow. Thank you so much. Do you want your business in front of an international audience? Advertise with us today. Savvy the Business Podcast. Send us an email at media@savvymag.biz. That's media@savvymag.biz. Send it today. Don't get left out. Thank you for joining us on Savvy the Business Podcast. If you want to be a guest, send an email to media@savvymag.biz. That's media@savvymag.biz. Don't miss out on the opportunity to be heard by millions.